So in this video, we're going to talk about invoice and accounts receivable. So this is our part 4 QuickBooks 2000 tutorial video. We'll have a series of QuickBooks videos for 2015. So in part 2, we talked about chart of accounts. On part 3, we talked about item list. So now we're going to talk about invoice and accounts receivable. So if you have watched part 2, if you have watched part 3, you'll will have more information about how to create invoice. So I recommend you watching part 2 and 3 to better understand part 4 for invoice and accounts receivable. So let's get started. So this is our QuickBooks 2015. The one I have is a QuickBooks Premier Accountant, but we're just going to basically talk about QuickBooks 2015, QuickBooks Pro or QuickBooks Premier, so it doesn't matter. So we're just going to basically talk about QuickBooks 2015. So this is the Insight page, all the money graph and charts, and this will have traditional home page. There's a home page. So we're going to talk about this part here, create invoice. Create invoice. So if you move around this, it will tell you to bill your customer and receive the payment later. So you're going to bill your customer and offer them some terms, or say on due on receipt, and they will pay you later. Okay, so this is the one, customers here, and the first one is a customer center. So when you select customer center, I already have one here. So that will have is the edit. You can edit little pencil in here. So click this one. So this is your customer center screen, and so you basically fill out all the customer information, email, phone number, and all the other information. And the important thing is the company name is the company invoice, and then you provide all the invoice address and the SIP2 address in here. And the next one is this is the address info and the payment setting. So this is the default one. You can create account number if you need it, or you can just leave it blank if you don't care for it. And then the payment terms, you select whatever payment terms you want to offer to your customer. And if you're accepting credit card, so this is where you enter credit card creation. And this is the important one. So whenever you provide credit limit, let's say you have a customer and you want to provide $10,000 credit limit, and so that's it. So once you hit $10,000, it'll give you some message saying, well, there's a credit limit and you already invoiced for that amount. And the sales tax settings basically is the tax code. If it's a taxable, you just put the tax code in here. You're going to charge sales tax, and if it's non-sales tax, then you basically ask for the resale certificate, and you should have it in here, and just put in the resale certificate number. And then the customer type, you don't have to fill out all these, but it will help if you want to create new reports, all kinds of customized reports. So you got to provide all that information. So this depends upon how you want to structure your business. In this case, it's the construction business, and they have a commercial and residential customer type. So in your business, the customer type could be totally different. or maybe you don't have any customer type, then just ignore it, doesn't matter. And this one is the rep. So if you assign sales rep, you need to assign it right here. Let's say this is for let's say the sales rep is Chris Smith. So it will automatically create so quick add. There's the other, or let's say this is employee. So this vendor, employee, or other. So if it's employee on your payroll, this is what it is. And if someone is on 1099, independent contractor, but helping you sell your products, so this is where it goes, vendor. So the employee on payroll, employee payroll right here. So it basically automatically creates initials in here, say yes, and it's the employee, and you say okay. So that's it. And in this case, if you have a custom field, you can expand it in here. You can include like birthday. If you have a special customer uh, that you want to include and send out some greetings card, you can include in here like that. So this is where you define fields like this. Save OK. So this is how you create customer information. And so we haven't started about creating invoice, but I just want to touch base about how to fill out the customer information first. So if you want to create a new one, so this is the customer information already created. And if you want to create a new one, there's a new one. So you want to create a new customer, and in case you are doing some job, you just add job to this customer, and multiple customer jobs. You just do it here, and in this case, you can see in here. So this is a construction company file. So it's a customer, and underneath they have different jobs they're working on. So this is how you create it. This is your job, and this is a customer, and this one you can move around if you want it like this. You move up and down, as you can see. This will change too. So you can move this one a little bit bigger if you want. Like this, and here's your balance. We tell you the balance in here. So the balance has to be the total of all these projects, and in here it will give you all the invoice information. So in this case, we're not talking about payment or sales order. We're just talking about the invoice here. So this is the invoice. So we'll give you invoice number and the accounts receivable right here and the amount. Okay, so this is the basic information that you need in order to create an invoice. So let's go to creating invoice. So right here, the creating invoice. So creating invoice in here, and you can also get to here by just going from home page. So here's your home page. Just create this, create invoice right here. So when you create invoice, the first thing you want is a selection of your customer, and it's right here. So we're going to select customer, and if you're gonna, so if you have a job, then select the customer with job that you want to invoice, and if you're gonna invoice directly to, you don't have any jobs, anything, you basically select. So let's say you want to create a new one here, and this is not the one you want. You just create a new one, and there's no job involved. It's a direct customer. Let's say your customer name is San Diego Brewery, Okay, and you can fill out all the information in here we talked about, the job information if you need, additional information, and if you don't want to provide all the information, this is all the information you want to include. This is the information you need, and the rest you can do it later on. So as you can see here, we created customer here. So, and now the first thing you want to select is, this is the one we talked about on part 3 of our video. So in order to invoice, you're going to have an item, and item is like your product list, and item is a link to your chart of account. So whenever you say, let's say the carpet one, let's just say carpet. So this one is your income, and it's linked to your specific income account that you see in your chart of account. Okay, so let's put the quantity in here, 100, and the red you can put in, let's say this is the commercial one. So 2000, and this is, if you're taxable, you select taxable, let's say this is taxable. So as you can see here, the moment you select taxable, there's a tax already set up in here, and it gets you this amount. And if it's a group one, we'll select the group one. So this one, the sales tax setup, also we already talked about that on our part 3 video. That's the item listing video. So if you need to know more about how to set up sales tax, you need to look at our part 3 video. Okay, let's say this is it, and you select the terms. Let's say you want it make 30 days. Okay, and let's just select today's date. Let's say today's date is 8/23/2014. Okay, 2014. So 100. Okay, and let's do another one here. Say floor plan. Let's say quantity 25. And let's say this one is for $350. Taxable sales. And let's say you want a subtotal for these two items, line items. You just put the subtotal in here, like this. Let's get the subtotal here. Subtotal. So as you can see here is 208 subtotal. So even this one, how to set up, we talked about that in part 3 of our video. So now let's say you want another service. Say you want to charge from the equipment rental. $200 for that. Let's say this is non-taxable, so you don't charge sales tax in here. Let's say you're going to charge, you have some inventory items like pine. So it's taxable, you went up. So as you can see here, so this is how you create the invoice. So this is one with the subtotal. So you may not have any subtotal. If that's the case, just the one or whatever you have. You don't have to create a subtotal. So if you don't want subtotal, you just delete subtotal here, right here, delete line. You don't want to delete the whole thing, just delete the line here. Delete line, it's gone. And if you want to insert it again, insert line again and subtotal, back to subtotal again, like this, and just save and close. So once you save and close, let's see what happens. Okay, so you created invoice, and if you go to Customer Center, so you just create an invoice, San Diego, right here. Okay, so we create an invoice. As you can see here, here's the invoice number, 1100 invoice. Here's the date, and the account is accounts receivable for the debit side, and the credit side is of course the income, the revenue account, and also sales tax payable. So here's the total amount. Okay, so now if you go to reports, company and financial, this is the customer report, AR aging summary. See right here, San Diego Brewery. Right here, San Diego Brewery. So this is how you get the report like this. So here's your accounts receivable aging summary. So that tells you you just invoiced it and it's not overdue. So whenever next month, if they don't pay, it'll move in here. Okay, on the income side, let's say what happens. So here's the income side, all the income we have from this job, and also since we also picked the the materials type, we also posted cost of goods sold. So basically, this is how you will see in your income statement uh, for the material or the income, the inventory one. It will also have cost of goods sold, so it will also reduce your inventory asset on the balance sheet. So let's go back to invoice again. So here's the one we did it a long time ago. So here's the sample in here. So it's basically create a subtotal like this one, and if you have a class, you can also select class. Uh, so if you want to do the business class, it'll tell you it'll basically be helpful to run your profit and loss by class. So you want to run how much money you're making on remodel versus new construction. So you set up class. So that's a separate subject. So basically it's in here. So this is the one you want to create. This is another one. We'll just say create another one, customer name. We'll say Brett Hillcrest. Let's say quick add. And let's say you want to provide some service like this. And you can just put the amount in here. Like this. Let's just see. Let's say quick entry. So this is just one item. It's very easy to do. Let's say you don't charge sales tax. Save and close. It's done. Let's say save a new. Let's say another one. Let's create another one. Quick add. And in this case, it's not on the list, so let's create a new one. Add new. And let's say this is a service type. And this is a professional. Let's say professional services. And your rate is, let's say, $50. It's consulting type. And from here, let's select the account. Say labor income. And if it's not on a list, you can always create it. Let's go in here and add new. So this is the chart of accounts. So labor income. Say OK. And let's say you work on this project for 40 hours. Like this. By the way, since it's labor hours, it says quantity in here, so you will need to do the customized layout in here if you want to change this. So you come here and format, and then customize data layout. So this is the one you need to go through. So that's we'll see that on our next part. So there's a main one here. Go back to next one. So if you want to customize, basically all you do is main here, formatting, customize data layout, and it will tell you what to do. And let's say this is non-taxable. Okay, that's it for creating invoice. And the next step we're gonna talk about that is to see payments. So that's a separate subject. So we'll have to watch another video. So we'll talk about we create an invoice and now receive payment, and then how you're going to deposit that to your bank account, and if you're downloading your bank accounts, also how to handle it. So we'll talk about that on our future video. So this video is strictly for creating invoice and how it will see on your accounts receivable. So thanks for watching, and come back again. Thank you.